They once brought laughter and warmth to millions in Cheers. 1982-1993, the sitcom that defined an era. But what became of the beloved stars after the lights went out at the Boston bar? Some found fame beyond imagination. Others struggled in silence and a few met tragic ends. Who is still with us today and whose stories ended far too soon? The answers may surprise you. George Wendt, the unforgettable Norm Peterson of Cheers, was born on October 17, 1948. When the show premiered in 1982, Wendt was 34 years old, stepping into the role of the lovable, beer-loving barfly, whose one-liners became an iconic part of television history. His character Norm was more than comic relief. He was a symbol of everyday struggles, escape, and the comfort of community at the bar. Before and after, Cheers' Wendt's career stretched across film and television, including appearances in Fletch Forever Young and countless guest roles. Yet not every project was a success. His short-lived sitcom The George Wendt Show failed to capture audiences, marking one of the more painful professional setbacks in his career. Beyond acting, Wendt wrestled with personal struggles, particularly regarding health and weight issues that at times threatened both his career and personal life. These challenges painted a picture not of glamour, but of resilience in the face of biographical and physical difficulties. Financially, Wendt built stability with an estimated net worth of around $45 million, largely from his long-running role on Cheers and residuals. He married Bernadette Burkett in 1978, and the couple share 3 children together, proving that behind the comedy icon was a devoted family man. Today in his mid-70s, Wendt continues to act occasionally while enjoying a quieter life. His home life is said to include comfortable property holdings, reflecting both financial security and a retreat from the pressures of Hollywood. George Wendt's story is one of peaks and valleys, immense fame through Norm Peterson, the sting of failures that followed, but also a personal life marked by loyalty and family. Now, in his later years, his legacy remains firmly tied to the laughter he gave the world, while his private battles remind us of the human fragility behind the legend. Philip Perlman, the familiar face behind Phil on Cheers, was born on April 5, 1919. When he first appeared on the show in 1982, he was already 63 years old, much older than most of the cast, yet his presence as the quiet bar patron added authenticity to the Boston tavern setting. Though never a leading star, his recurring role made him a recognizable part of the ensemble, embodying the everyday man who found solace in the bar's warmth. Perlman's journey into acting was not traditional. He had first been a businessman before entering Hollywood later in life. His acting career was relatively modest, with credits in Throw Mama from the Train and Ruthless People, but Cheers gave him the longest-running visibility of his career. Unlike many actors who struggled with the pressures of fame, Perlman's challenge came from the difficulty of breaking into acting at an advanced age. While others saw youth and opportunity, he had to carve a place for himself in an industry that rarely embraced late bloomers. Despite not reaching great stardom, his career provided financial comfort. His estimated net worth was modest, likely around $1.2 million, mostly from his roles and connections in the industry. He was married to Adele Perlman and became the father of famed television producer Glenn Charles's wife, Rhea Perlman, who is best known for playing Carla Tortelli on Cheers. This family tie made his appearances on the show even more meaningful, bridging his personal and professional life. Philip Perlman lived a long life, but also faced the natural fragility of aging. He passed away on April 29, 2015, at the age of 95. The cause of death was attributed to natural causes, a peaceful end after a long, full journey. While he may not have owned vast real estate or lived in luxury, his quiet contribution to television history remains. His story is one of perseverance, finding a place in Hollywood against the odds and leaving behind a legacy of warmth, humor, and family connection through one of television's most beloved series. Kirstie Alley, forever remembered as Rebecca Howe on Cheers, was born on January 12, 1951. She joined the cast in 1987 at 36 years old, stepping into the impossible task of replacing Shelley Long. Yet Alley made the role her own. Her mix of ambition, insecurity, and comedic brilliance turned Rebecca into a fan favorite, even earning her an Emmy Award and Golden Globe. Before Cheers, Ally appeared in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and later became a household name in films like Look Who's Talking. However, her career wasn't without painful stumbles. Several of her later TV projects, including Veronica's Closet and her reality shows, met with mixed success, and her personal struggles with fluctuating weight and public image often overshadowed her talent. She was also open about her battle with addiction in her younger years and later faced criticism over her outspoken political and personal beliefs, which sometimes strained her Hollywood standing. Financially, Kirstie Alley enjoyed significant success with an estimated net worth of around $40 million at the height of her career. She married actor Parker Stevenson in 1983, and together they adopted 2 children. The marriage ended in divorce in 1997, a painful chapter in her life that left her facing heartbreak alongside professional turbulence. Her later years were spent in Florida, where she enjoyed a quieter lifestyle, though her lavish homes, including a stunning waterfront mansion, once in her possession, reflected her enduring Hollywood wealth. Yet behind the walls of luxury, she battled declining health. Tragically, Kirstie Alley died on December 5, 2022, after a short but fierce fight with colon cancer. She was 71 years old. Her death shocked fans around the world, a reminder of how swiftly life can change. Alley's story remains bittersweet, a dazzling rise to fame shadowed by personal battles and heartbreak, but ultimately defined by the laughter, charm, and unforgettable energy she brought to the screen. Nicholas Colasanto, the gentle soul behind Coach Ernie Pantuso on Cheers, was born on January 19, 1924. When the series began in 1982, he was 58 years old, already a seasoned character actor who had spent years working behind the scenes as a director before finding his most iconic role. As Coach, he brought warmth, innocence, and comedic timing to the show, becoming the heart of the bar and a beloved father figure to Sam Malone. Before Cheers, Colasanto appeared in Raging Bull Fatso and guest starred in dozens of television dramas while also directing episodes of Hawaii Five-0 and Columbo. Yet his career was not an easy path. For years he struggled with alcoholism, a battle that nearly derailed his professional life. Though he eventually found sobriety, his health remained fragile, with heart problems beginning to take a toll, just as Cheers thrust him into newfound fame. Financially, Colasanto never reached the immense wealth of some of his co-stars, with his net worth estimated at around $1 to $2 million at the time of his death. He never married and had no children, living instead a private life centered on his work. The lack of a family legacy deepened the sense of tragedy that surrounded his untimely passing. Tragically, Nicholas Colasanto died on February 12, 1985, at just 61 years old from a heart attack at his home. His sudden death left both fans and cast members devastated, forcing Cheers to say goodbye to its most tender character far too soon. The show honored him by leaving a portrait of Geronimo, which he had hung in his dressing room, on the set of the bar, an enduring tribute. Colasanto's story is both inspiring and heartbreaking, a late-blooming success who finally found recognition, only to have it cut short by illness. Though gone, his gentle humor and humanity remain a cornerstone of Cheers' enduring magic. Roger Rees, the witty and charming Robin Colcord on Cheers, was born on May 5, 1944, in Wales. When he joined the sitcom in 1989, he was 45 years old, already known as an acclaimed stage actor. As Robin, the wealthy yet mischievous love interest of Rebecca Howe Rees, brought sophistication and comedic edge, making the character both captivating and delightfully frustrating to audiences. Before Cheers, Rees had built a remarkable career in theater, winning both an Olivier Award and a Tony Award for his performance in The Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby. On screen, he appeared in Frida, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and The West Wing, where his sharp delivery and elegance made him memorable. Yet his career wasn't without setbacks. Despite his theatrical brilliance, Hollywood often typecast him, and several projects he invested in failed to reach their potential, leaving him frustrated with the industry's limitations. Financially, Rees lived comfortably with an estimated net worth of around $5 million, much of it earned through stage work, television, and teaching. In his personal life, he found lasting love with playwright Rick Ellis, his partner of over 3 decades, whom he eventually married. Though they never had children, their bond was described as deeply supportive both personally and professionally. Tragically, Roger Rees's life was cut short. After battling brain cancer, he died on July 10, 2015, at the age of 71. His death silenced a voice that had graced both stage and screen with unmatched class. He spent his final years in New York, where he also owned property and continued working in theater until his illness overtook him. Roger Rees's story is one of brilliance and heartbreak. A gifted actor who balanced triumphs with struggles, adored for his wit and grace, but taken too soon. His legacy endures not just through Cheers, but through the depth and dignity he brought to every performance. Keene Curtis, a distinguished stage and screen actor, became a recognizable figure to television audiences through his role in Cheers 1982-1993. Born on February 15, 1923 in Salt Lake City, Utah, Curtis entered the beloved sitcom in its later seasons as John Allen Hill, the pompous and sharp-tongued owner of Melville's seafood restaurant, which sat just above the Cheers bar. His character's clashes with Carla and other staff members made him a memorable addition to the ensemble. When he joined Cheers in 1991, he was already 68 years old, bringing with him decades of experience from stage and screen. Before his television fame, Curtis had built a respected career in theater, working on Broadway and earning acclaim for roles in productions like The Rothschilds and Man of La Mancha. On screen, he appeared in films such as Hearts of the West and IQ, as well as TV shows like MASH, Star Trek Voyager, and The Magician. Despite his talent, his career was not free from struggles. He often found himself typecast as intellectual or pompous characters, limiting the breadth of roles he could explore. There were also long stretches where steady work eluded him, leaving him to return to stage work to sustain his craft. In his personal life, Curtis faced difficulties. Though he married Katherine Kilburn, the couple later divorced, leaving him to navigate much of his later years alone. He had no children, which he sometimes described as a quiet regret. Financially, while he never achieved Hollywood-level wealth, his net worth at the peak of his career was estimated around $1 to $2 million, much of it coming from stage and television work rather than lavish investments. Tragically, Keene Curtis passed away on October 13, 2002 in Bountiful, Utah, due to complications from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 79. His final years were marked by the decline of his health, a poignant contrast to the lively characters he portrayed. He left behind a modest estate, remembered more for his artistry than for material possessions. Though gone, his legacy as the witty John Allen Hill in Cheers and his distinguished stage career continue to resonate with audiences. Hugh McGuire, though not as widely recognized as some of his Cheers castmates, left a mark on television through his recurring role as a bar patron in the iconic sitcom Cheers 1982-1993. Born on April 22, 1933 in Boston, Massachusetts, McGuire appeared in the series during the 1980s when he was in his late 40s to early 50s. While his part was small compared to the main ensemble, his presence contributed to the authentic atmosphere of the bar, where every background face helped build the show's sense of community and realism. McGuire's acting career extended beyond Cheers. He had appearances in television shows and films such as L.A. Law, The American President 1995, and Dave 1993, where his supporting roles often placed him as authority figures or background professionals. Despite these credits, his career never reached leading man status, and this reality was a quiet professional struggle. Many casting directors viewed him as a character actor, useful but not central, a label that both sustained his career and limited his opportunities. In his personal life, McGuire faced challenges. He was married at one point, but the relationship ended in divorce, a personal setback that left a lasting impact. He had no publicly known children, and his later years were lived away from the spotlight. Financially, his net worth was modest compared to Hollywood standards, likely estimated around $500,000 to $1 million, accumulated through steady but not glamorous acting work. Hugh McGuire's life ended on May 18, 2016 at the age of 83. While the specific cause of death was not heavily publicized, it marked the closing chapter of a career filled with perseverance. Unlike some actors who lived lavishly, McGuire's estate was modest, without reports of grand properties or extravagant wealth. Instead, he is remembered for his quiet but consistent contributions to film and television, particularly as one of the familiar faces who populated the world of Cheers, making the bar feel like a real place where stories unfolded. Jay Thomas, born on July 12, 1948 in Kermit, Texas, was a multi-talented actor, comedian, and radio personality who brought charisma and edge to his role in Cheers, 1982-1993. He played Eddie Lebec, a French-Canadian hockey goalie who became Carla Tortelli's love interest and eventual husband on the show. When Thomas joined Cheers in 1987, he was 39 years old, adding both comic timing and a bit of dramatic flair to the ensemble. His character's storyline, however, ended abruptly when Eddie was killed off in a tragic Zamboni accident, a plot twist rooted in tensions behind the scenes. Beyond Cheers, Thomas built a varied career. He became well known for his role as Jerry Gold, the talk show host in Murphy Brown, a performance that earned him 2 Emmy Awards. He also appeared in Mork and Mindy Love and War and films like Mr. Holland's Opus and Dragonfly. Alongside acting, he thrived as a radio host, running a successful Sirius XM show that showcased his sharp humor and unfiltered personality. Yet his career was not without setbacks. His candid, sometimes abrasive sense of humor created conflicts, most infamously with Rhea Perlman on Cheers, leading to his character's early departure. In his personal life, Thomas faced challenges but also joys. He married Sally Michelson, and the couple had 2 sons together. Earlier in life, he fathered another son, J.T. Harding, who was placed for adoption but later reunited with Thomas in adulthood, adding a bittersweet chapter to his family story. Financially, Thomas accumulated an estimated net worth of around $3 million at the peak of his career, though he never lived in excessive luxury. Tragically, Jay Thomas passed away on August 24, 2017 in Santa Barbara, California, after a battle with throat cancer. He was 69 years old. His death marked the end of a life filled with humor, controversy, and resilience. While he did not leave behind vast estates or real estate empires, he is remembered for his sharp wit, his Emmy-winning performances, and his unique ability to connect with audiences both on-screen and behind the microphone. His legacy endures as that of a bold entertainer who never shied away from speaking his mind. Frances Sternhagen, born on January 13, 1930 in Washington, D.C., was a celebrated actress whose career spanned stage television and film, and who became a beloved recurring face on Cheers 1982-1993. She joined the series in 1986 at the age of 56, portraying Esther Clavin, the overbearing and eccentric mother of Cliff Clavin. With her sharp wit and commanding presence, Sternhagen gave depth and humor to the character, turning brief appearances into memorable moments that fans of the show still recall fondly. Before Cheers, Sternhagen had already built a highly respected career in theater, earning multiple Tony Awards for her performances in The Good Doctor and The Heiress. On television, she became known for roles in ER, Sex and the City, and The Closer, while her film credits included Misery, The Mist, and Julie and Julia. She thrived as a consummate character actress, often cast in roles of formidable mothers or quirky matriarchs. And while this typecasting sometimes limited her range on screen, it secured her a steady stream of work that spanned decades. Despite her professional triumphs, Sternhagen's life was not without hardship. She married actor Thomas Carlin in 1956, and the couple raised 6 children together. However, Carlin's death in 1991 was a devastating personal loss, leaving Sternhagen to navigate her later years as a widow. Balancing motherhood with a demanding stage and screen career was often a struggle, and she endured periods where theater work provided little financial stability. Nevertheless, her resilience and dedication to her craft earned her admiration across the entertainment world. Financially, Sternhagen maintained a comfortable life with an estimated net worth of around $4 million, primarily from her consistent stage and screen work, rather than extravagant Hollywood projects. She lived modestly, never embracing the celebrity lifestyle, and preferred a quieter existence surrounded by family. Frances Sternhagen passed away on November 27, 2023 at the age of 93. The cause of death was not publicly detailed, but her passing marked the end of an era for fans of classic American theater and television. She left behind not only her children and grandchildren, but also a legacy of excellence in acting remembered for her humor, warmth, and professionalism. Though gone, she remains immortalized through her roles, especially as the unforgettable Esther Clavin in Cheers. Harry Anderson, born on October 14, 1952, became a recognizable face on television thanks to his recurring role as Harry the Hat Gittes in Cheers, 1982-1993. He first appeared in the early 1980s playing the witty, mischievous con artist who frequently tricked both the bar's patrons and its staff with clever sleight of hand. At the time he joined Cheers, Anderson was around 30 years old, already carving a name for himself as a magician and comedian before stepping into the acting spotlight. His character, though not a main cast member, quickly turned into a fan favorite because of his humor and charisma. Outside Cheers, Anderson achieved greater fame as Judge Harry Stone in Night Court 1984 to 1992, a role that earned him several Emmy nominations. He also appeared in productions like Tales from the Crypt Dave's World and the TV adaptation of Stephen King's It 1990, where he played the grown-up Richie Tozier. Despite his career successes, his life was not without setbacks. After Night Court ended, Anderson struggled to recapture the same level of fame, facing financial difficulties and a fading spotlight. He even opened a magic shop and nightclub in New Orleans, but Hurricane Katrina devastated his investments, forcing him into a more reclusive lifestyle. Anderson was married twice and had 2 children. His first marriage ended in divorce, a personal failure that added to the turbulence of his later life. Known for his sharp wit on-screen, off-screen, he often faced the harsh realities of financial strain and the difficulty of sustaining long-term success in Hollywood. His estimated net worth at the time of his death was around $5 million, though much less than many of his contemporaries. Tragically, Harry Anderson passed away on April 16, 2018 at his home in Asheville, North Carolina, due to a stroke caused by heart disease and the flu. He was 65 years old. His death marked the end of a career defined by brilliance, humor, and resilience. Though gone, Anderson remains an unforgettable figure in American television, remembered as the charming trickster of Cheers and the warm-hearted judge of Night Court. Ted Danson, born on December 29, 1947, became an international television icon through his role as Sam Malone, the charming bartender and former baseball player in Cheers 1982-1993. When he first stepped into the role in 1982, he was 34 years old, embodying a character who quickly became the heart and soul of the Boston bar setting. Sam Malone, with his smooth talk, good looks, and often comical romantic pursuits, turned Danson into one of the most recognizable TV stars of the 1980s and early 1990s. His portrayal earned him 2 Primetime Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe, cementing his status in television history. Beyond Cheers, Danson has had a remarkably long career starring in Becker, 1998-2004, Damage's CSI Crime Scene, Investigation, The Good Place, and Mr. Mayor. His versatility as an actor has allowed him to successfully transition across comedy and drama, a feat few television stars have achieved. As of 2025, his estimated net worth is around $80 million, a reflection not only of his acting longevity, but also his wise financial choices and endorsement deals. Danson's personal life, however, was not without turbulence. His high-profile affair with actress Whoopi Goldberg in the early 1990s, while still married to his second wife Casey Coates, became a media scandal that led to a painful and costly divorce settlement, reportedly worth tens of millions of dollars. This was one of the darkest moments of his personal life, a biographical scar that followed him for years. Despite that, Danson eventually rebuilt his private happiness. He married actress Mary Steenburgen in 1995, and the couple has since become one of Hollywood's most admired long-term love stories. Though Danson has 2 daughters from his previous marriage, he and Steenburgen did not have children together, but share a close blended family. Now, in his late 70s, Danson continues to act advocate for ocean conservation and live a fulfilling life. His real estate portfolio includes properties in Los Angeles and Santa Monica, often valued in the multi-million-dollar range befitting his wealth and status. At 77 years old, Ted Danson stands as a rare figure in Hollywood, a man who endured scandal and heartbreak, yet reinvented himself and preserved both his career and his legacy as one of television's most beloved stars. Rhea Perlman, born on March 31, 1948, is forever remembered for her unforgettable role as Carla Tortelli, the wisecracking waitress with a tough exterior and a sharp wit in Cheers, 1982-1993. She joined the show in 1982 at the age of 34, perfectly embodying Carla's fiery personality and sarcastic humor. Throughout the 11 seasons of Cheers, Perlman's performance won her 4 Emmy Awards and 6 Golden Globe nominations, making her one of the most celebrated sitcom actresses of her era. Carla, with her endless stream of one-liners and chaotic family life, became a character audiences could never forget. Beyond Cheers, Perlman starred in films such as Matilda 1996, where she played the hilariously neglectful mother Zinnia Wormwood, and appeared in numerous TV projects including Taxi Hot, In Cleveland, The Mindy Project, and more recently Barbie 2023. Her career showcased her incredible comedic timing and her ability to turn supporting roles into scene-stealing performances. Today, her estimated net worth is around $60 million, reflecting decades of successful work in film and television. Perlman's personal life, however, was marked by ups and downs. She married actor Danny DeVito in 1982, and together they became one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, raising 3 children. Yet their marriage was not free from turmoil. They separated in 2012, briefly reconciled, and then split again in 2017. Though they never divorced, their unusual arrangement kept them close friends while living apart, a bittersweet turn in what was once seen as an unshakable Hollywood love story. Despite these personal challenges, Perlman has remained active in the entertainment industry and continues to live comfortably in Los Angeles, where she owns multi-million-dollar real estate. Now in her late 70s, she embraces her role as both a mother and grandmother while maintaining her presence on screen. At 77 years old, Rhea Perlman stands as a resilient figure and actress who turned sarcasm into an art form, faced personal heartbreak with grace, and secured her place as one of television's most iconic comedic talents. John Ratzenberger, born on April 6, 1947, became a household name thanks to his role as Cliff Clavin, the trivia-obsessed mailman in Cheers, 1982-1993. When he first joined the series in 1982, he was 35 years old, bringing to life one of the most recognizable sitcom characters of all time. Cliff's endless and often useless knowledge delivered with absolute confidence made him both a source of comedy and affection throughout the show's run. Ratzenberger appeared in all 11 seasons, cementing his place in television history. Beyond Cheers, Ratzenberger built a remarkable career as a voice actor. He is best known as Pixar's Lucky Charm, having voiced a character in every Pixar film including Ham, in Toy Story Mac the Truck and Cars, and the Yeti in Monsters, Inc. This unique association gave him a second wave of fame across generations. His estimated net worth today is around $25 million, largely thanks to his work in film, television, and voice acting. Ratzenberger's personal life had its share of turbulence. He was married twice, with his first marriage to Georgia Steiny, ending in divorce after nearly 20 years and 2 children together. Divorce was a painful chapter in his life, marked by emotional and financial strain. He later married Julie Blichfeld in 2012, and they continue to live together in relative privacy. Unlike many Hollywood figures, Ratzenberger avoided large public scandals, though career lulls after Cheers were difficult, forcing him to reinvent himself as a voice actor and producer. Today, at 78 years old, Ratzenberger remains active not only in entertainment, but also as a businessman and advocate for American manufacturing. He owns real estate in California and Connecticut, including a comfortable home that reflects his modest yet successful lifestyle. Despite setbacks in his personal life, Ratzenberger has endured as a beloved actor whose career spans both live-action comedy and the magical world of animation. His legacy is twofold as Cliff Clavin, the barstool philosopher of Cheers, and as the unmistakable voice behind some of Pixar's most iconic characters. Which character from Cheers, 1982 and 1993, holds a special place in your heart? How does it make you feel knowing that the beloved cast members are no longer with us? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments below. If you've been enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.